Hello and welcome to the very first book of the month video party via Zoom. So, in the month of December, I decided to start a book club. Sometimes we just can't get out of the house and form our own locally, or maybe you just don't have the right kind of people in your neighborhood to kind of help you. So, I decided to do this, something I've kind of wanted to be a part of, and I just thought it would be fun. And then we can do a video party at the end and kind of, today, because it's the Christmas holidays, I've decided to do it during the day, but we can do it in the evening and we can all get our glasses of wine. And today it looks like I'm flying solo at the moment. No one's shown up, and that's okay. I I'm recording it, so you can be watching this later. And the thing is, I'd really love to have people here, and we can actually just have a really good like round robin of what you thought, like what you loved about the book, what were your takeaways, your aha moments, anything you want to share about the book. And maybe there's something you really don't like about the book, or what are you going to take away from this book and add into your everyday life. So I'm going to make this kind of quick. It's just me. We'll see if anybody else jumps on late. Being a mom, sometimes you just can't get there in time. So I'll start out, and if anybody jumps in, that is awesome too. And if you're watching this later, awesome. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you just want to post the comments with the below the video, that would be great. Or if you're seeing this in the email, I would love to just hear your thoughts. So you can just reply back to the email. So the December's book of the month was The Emotional Edge. Now it's going probably backwards because I'm using Zoom, but it's The Emotional Edge by Andrus Morissette. Now, first off, why did I even pick this book? I don't just randomly pick books. It's like, oh, here's a book I haven't read yet. Let's just do this. I actually put some thought into it. And the reason, one of the biggest reasons, there's many reasons. Let's just go down there. One of the reasons is she's a huge mentor of mine. She has changed my life on so many different levels. She is the founder of the SWAT Institute where I did my coaching. I learned so much from her, how to do coaching, how to coach women, how to coach with the emotional scale, which I use. And I have read all her other books, and she's an amazing writer. So I just knew that this was a book. This is actually a book I did have sitting on my shelf though. Because I bought it and I was so excited, and then life happened and I didn't have a chance to read it fully, so I just wanted to pick it back up and finish it. But here's the big one. I thought it was a really good book to kind of help us get us through the holiday season when our emotions can run high, and to really just get us in a really good, like get our foot in the right direction for 2018. So I just thought it was a really good book to end a year and start the next one. And I personally think it was a good choice. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. So that is why I picked the book. Now, I used to never read the introduction of a book. I just always got like, where's chapter 1? Let's just get there. And now lately, for over the past few years, I've definitely read like every single word I can get my eyes on. And I'm so glad I did, because in this book, it was amazing. And I wasn't even on chapter 1 yet. I actually went and got my highlighter. And that means that there's some really amazing things that I want to hang on to and share and just remember after the book. And I'm actually going to share a couple with you. I'm going to open it. But I wasn't even at chapter 1 yet. I'm like reading. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm still in the introduction. So if anybody does skip the introductions, or the introduction or like the beginning, the acknowledgments, I really, really encourage you to read everything, because you just never know where you're going to find the amazingness. So I just want to keep on track, because there will be, I'd just like to share why I picked the book. And maybe you got out of it what I thought maybe you could, or maybe you got something completely different. But I'm just going to read a few of the things that I highlighted. And like I said, it's literally at the beginning of the book. Now, obviously, there's more amazingness throughout the book, but I just couldn't believe how many great nuggets of awesomeness there was even at the beginning of the book. Like, I'm like, yeah. So anyways. So here's one that she thought. So this is really an amazing story of her journey of she just wanted to feel empowered. So she really talks a lot um, about her journey. And so I felt like maybe if I did more, I'd be more. If I got enough, I'd be enough. But I was tired of doing and having. So where in your life, like I think a lot of us can relate to that. You feel like if you do more, or yeah, maybe if you do more, you'll be more. So it's just, having those expectations or trying and thriving and really just wearing ourselves down for what? So I just thought that was really incredible. And I think maybe somebody needs to hear that today. And then the other one is really good too. It's really just, we're all been there. So it goes, we've all been consumed with disempowered, repetitive thoughts, misdirected fear, that stuff that distracts and numbs us from the real stuff. We can get so caught up in the negative stuff in our life, the things that the could-haves, the should-haves, and it's just, it's just showing that we all can be there, and it can really take away from the real stuff and the amazing things we can have happen in our life. It can really hold us back. So it just was really nice to hear her just her thoughts on this. So I thought it was really incredible. And then she explains, she actually wrote a book, her first book, and because I followed her for so long, I know a lot of her stories already. But this is it was amazing with, her book reached really, so she goes from not empowered and feeling really, really disempowered, and then writes a book, and it gets above some of the other big writers. So then she realizes, this is what she says, this success affirmed to me that no matter who you are or what happens to you, if you decide to, you can create a successful life. Like, I knew in that moment that empowerment is a birthright. So if you ever feel like there's just so much stuff and negativeness and just piles of crap happening in your life, just know that you have a birthright to be empowered. So it was just like, oh, it's just so amazing things. And I think I'm just going to read one more. Let me just see. Oh, no, two more. Okay. When you take away choice, you take away empowerment. When you think you have no choice, you disempower yourself. So I'm going to read that one more time because that is incredible. And I really feel like if you have gotten this book, it is on page 8 and it is in bold. So it's literally will stand out to you when you get it. And it's just something that you can even put on your wall and remind you of this. When you take away choice, you take away any empowerment. When you think you have no choice, you disempower yourself. So it's knowing that you always have a choice. You have a choice to react, a choice to walk away, a choice to say no, a choice to say yes. So it just was really, really amazing to really have that. And then the last one I just wanted to point out was here in Canada, we were actually the first country to grant women the status of person, but that didn't happen until 1917. 1917. So 100 years ago, 100 years ago, we weren't even considered people. We had no rights. And then understanding that can really help understand where our thought process comes or why we do the things we do. Now, this book is incredible. At least personally, I think so. The thing is, it just really helped me and reinforce what I've already know, certain things I already knew, and then just even deeper into different personalities. So if you go into it, there's actually a quiz in here. And I'm just hoping that you read it. If you didn't get it through, don't worry, you can keep reading. Or you can always find, like, if it didn't resonate with you right now, maybe it'll resonate with you later. But it actually just breaks down. So she talks about so we call it, because I went through the SWOT and we're all focused on coaching women, we call it mother energy, uh, daughter energy, and woman energy. But here in the book, she wanted to write it for the overall, like men and women. So it was, father, parent energy, child energy, I think. I just know I stick to, anyways. But what it is, if you think about it, mother energy, it's like the protective person that does anything for, you put yourself last. And then you have child energy, or daughter energy, where it's lashing out and just more drama and things like that. And then there's woman energy, and that's where really empowerment is the mesh of the two, and really just knowing yourself. And she just actually, Crystal does a really good job of just breaking down different types. So inside of each thing is actually more like the charmer, things like that. So it's I really recommend this book, especially just to understand where you're sitting right now. Are you in mother energy, daughter energy, or woman energy? Because the quiz is, let's see here. I should have wrote down what the quiz is. But it actually has, I just realized it actually has what I do to help even my clients release their triggers. It breaks it down right here for you, and it's actually on 135. So this book was just really nice to read. It kind of just dug deeper into what I already knew, and so it's just really good for me. But I personally think like this is a really good starting point if you just don't feel empowered, or if you just want to understand why you do the things you do. You know, even in here, it's like, who am I? So I hope you really enjoyed the book if you read it, and if you haven't, I do encourage you to read it. Maybe put it into your list of books to read in 2018. Now, before we go, I just wanted to share my big aha moment, which actually happened on page 233. And it was like the moment of like, like I got actually a little bit of release, and just to know that it's okay. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about sleep. So I should have bookmarked it where it was. I'm almost there, guys. Hang on with me. So it's more sleep, please, is what that paragraph starts with. And it just, she talks about when she had her little ones, and I believe they're 2 years apart. So it was just that, walking zombies are not emotionally empowered, which just made me realize, this year, that actually more than a year, 19 plus months of not sleeping, I can't be as empowered as I was when I was getting my night's sleep. So it really just, I was like, oh, right. It helped me really understand where I am right now. And I can do so many different things to stay empowered, or to, be as powered and empowered as possible. But without sleep, I'm not going to be fully there all the time. Well, all the time is really a stretch anyways, always a work in progress, but it really reminded me to be gentle right now with myself in this process, and really just be okay. Not being empowered all the time, not using it as an excuse to be like, throw it out the window. And I actually am sharing a blog post that I wrote on Christmas about this as well. It really, not sleeping has really grown, or helped me grow and be a better coach, a better mom, and a better wife, because I've had to work harder at being empowered. I might have actually just kind of, glided along and never really kept working at it. But because I'm not sleeping, I need to like really ground myself in my beliefs of who I am. And the thing that really came out for me on Christmas is when I do have my meltdowns or I feel really disempowered or have disempowered thoughts, I usually jump back pretty quick. I usually like less than an hour, I might just like completely lose it, go cry, get angry, whatever it is. Like I work through it. And then usually I write stuff down or I just talk it through with myself. And I'm usually out of that disempowerment in less than an hour. There's been times where it might be 4, depending on how much sleep I've got or where I am. If I'm surrounded by negative people, it's even harder to jump out of it. But if I can take myself away from any of the situation and just really ground myself, I bounce back or really just work. I shouldn't say bounce back. I work through it in less than an hour. Now, if this sleep deprivation or this drought of sleep happened a few years ago, before my real empowerment, self-love came, my self-love journey happened a lot sooner, but my empowerment journey, my journey of really working and healing my triggers, my wounds of my childhood, I'd hate to see what kind of person I turn into on this little bit of sleep that I'm getting. So this just really hit home for me when I read this, coming from Crystal, who's a huge mentor and supporter, and has actually helped me get through denial personally. I actually went to one of her retreats. So just coming from this amazing woman just really helped kind of release some of the pressure that I've been putting on myself. So that was the big aha and hopefully a learning moment for you. I don't know, but it's really been one of my biggest wins this year now. Like I just happened on Christmas, but it's my biggest win is because I've been, pushing myself maybe a little too hard or expecting myself to be somebody I'm not right now because I'm not sleeping. So it's just a really great reminder that sleep is so important. It's like if we're not getting it, we're not our best selves. So for me, it's just being gentle right now in the process. So anyways, I know I jumped on, but that's okay. If you're watching this later, please comment, or if in the email that I sent out, please reply back to the email. I'd love to hear. And if you have any books that have kind of changed your life or a subject that you'd like to know more about, please let me know. And I actually have books set up all the way till I think I have February's book planned. But after that, like there's some wiggle room. So if you have any recommendations of books that you'd like to read for us to read in the book club, please share. And I'll definitely take note. And before we go, big announcement. Now, you might have seen this already on Facebook because I have shared the January's book of the month. But if you missed it in the post, because sometimes Facebook goes weird and you don't always see things, I am going to announce right here what January's book is. So it is Add More Ing to Your Life, a hip guide to happiness. So I actually just finished reading one of her other books, and I found that she's a really amazing writer too. And I figured, we're always struggling for happiness, or we just, we want to feel happy. I feel like a lot of moms, I think people in general want to feel happy. So I just really thought we could start 2018 on a happy note and really just, add more ing to our life. So I thought this was a cute book. If you look, she's actually wearing angel wings and on a skateboard. So this book kind of fell into my lap. After reading her other one, she talks about this one. It just sounded really good. So I hope that you enjoy this. It's not that thick if you're worried about time. I actually started already, to be honest, because I can't help myself. I'm like, new book. So just over, 220 pages, 12 chapters. And it actually has a 30-day challenge. No, I shouldn't say challenge. 30-day, I don't know what she words it. it was a 30-day guide, I think. Yeah, here, no. Oh, 30-day equation. So it's really just, repeating something for 30 days. So I'm excited to actually start the repeating process. I think I'm going to start January 2nd. So it takes me all the way to January 31st. So that's my thoughts. Anyways, I would love to hear yours. And you can go get yours, hopefully. This is a slightly older book of hers, so you might actually be able to find it in the library too if budget is a thing of yours. So, or borrow it from a friend if somebody has it. Anyways, thank you if you're watching this later, and we will do another book club at the end of January. And if you want to come live, I'm going to try and do a poll again of what times suit you, and this way you can show up, because it's not just about me talking about the book. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please keep an eye on the poll in the Self-Love Club for Moms, the private Facebook group. And I would really love the more the merrier showing up. I know this is Christmas time or the holidays, so you might be busy with your family. So I completely understand. I just wanted to get this done before the new year, and so we can get reading the new book. Anyways, I hope you have an amazing last few days of 2017. Happy holidays and happy reading in January. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.